Keeping DEI on the radar. In recent months, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at universities and corporations have faced legal challenges and political backlash, but they're not going away yet. Diana Scott, head of the U.S. Human Capital Center at the Conference Board, spoke to Wall Street Week's David Westin about whether the initiatives have gone too far.
Certainly the conversation has been very divided, and I think, with a lot of the conversation being pretty divisive, people are focusing on words, and people have lost sight of the work that needs to be done. And I think perhaps even the purpose. So the pendulum swung way in one direction. I think now it's swung back, and maybe we need to find some center. I do think that if we can focus on why we do the work and what is the business impact, we can get the conversation back on an even keel.
You have a lot of experience doing this in the real world. As you look around, examples where it's been done well and examples where it's been done not so well, what distinguishes those two?
I think the companies that understand that they get their best productivity out of their employees by creating the kind of culture and values that their employees can align to and feel that they are recognized, that they have opportunity, that they see upward mobility, that they see their voices being heard. Those employees are going to do their best. And if you have an environment, and look at the environment we're in right now, labor is so tight, wages are high, unemployment is low. There is a war for talent out there. If you want to get the best and the brightest, you have to figure out how to create an employment brand for yourself that allows you to attract and retain the best. In fact, we just did a study with CEOs and C-suite executives. We surveyed 1,200, half of them were CEOs, and we asked them, what are your number one areas of focus going into 2024 and your number one areas of concern that you want to focus on in 2024? The internal issue that came up number one for both CEOs and everybody else in the C-suite: attract and retain employees, because they know that given the current environment, it's hard to do that. Given the evolving environment of technology, needing to innovate, needing to grow, they need the best and the brightest. So how do you do that? You need to make sure that you're attracting the best. You have to create a culture and a brand, an employment brand for yourself that creates some stickiness for your employees.
When I have had operating experience, I always lived by the maxim, which I was taught: if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. How do you measure DEIB so that you can manage it if it is a priority?
There are several things that you can do. Number one, I think you do need to understand the diversity of your organization. So it is important to look at demographics, whether it's race, gender, sexual orientation, these factors. But it's not to create quotas, it's just to understand. So that's number one. It's very important to understand how engaged your employees are. And there are a number of ways to measure that. So, look at engagement from engagement surveys. Also look at your turnover rates. We have many platforms out there now where people, can crowdsource their opinions about organizations. It's important to understand what your brand, your employment brand looks like, but really look at your turnover. Look at your ability to move people within the organization. And then I think it's really important to align your leadership with some of these factors where you say you will be evaluated based on your ability to attract and retain the best and the brightest. So, are you productive? Are you able to create stickiness with your employees, or are they voting with their feet? Do you keep the best and the brightest? Do you have a good succession pipeline for your organization? Those are the things that you can measure, and then you can say, has that translated into our bottom line? Are we developing innovative products? Are we, do we understand our customer base the way we need to understand them? Are we finding new services to put out to them? Do we really understand how to grow and innovate? Are we innovating? Are we creating new product lines? Things like that.
If you're evaluating employees, management, on that basis, does that necessarily mean compensation will be tied to it?
I think it needs to be. Now, you have to be careful because ultimately, if we do this right, if an organization really focuses on creating, the kind of culture that attracts the best and the brightest, they should be delivering innovative new products. They should be growing and delivering, great EPS to their stockholders. Ultimately, you really need to stick with the business metrics. But I think there are ways to look at individuals and evaluate individual leaders on their ability to retain the best employees, their ability to find the best talent and to attract the best talent. And you see those people. They are, talent builders. And I think there's a way to evaluate. You've got the business results, but then you say there's another factor, and that is really sticks with the individual. Does this leader somebody who has great engagement, great employment retention? Have they created a culture that people are clamoring to come and work at? Do their employees go recommend their friends to come and work at the place? Those aspects need to be factored in to compensation ultimately.